Well, good afternoon. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Welcome to the shooting range today. Well, I don't got to tell you that we are in July. And I believe it is July, I don't know, 13th today, I guess. Hotter than blazers. My goodness, hotter than blazes. It's hot, it's humid, but I just put this scope on this rifle. This is a 308 rifle. I also have a 30-06 with me with a different scope on it. So I've come to the range today for a couple of reasons. One is to try out these bullets. These are the bullets that you saw me in the last video that I was making. Well, these were them. Yep. These are 170 grain round nose cast bullets setting, and those are in a 308. So what I'm doing is sighting these in as well as testing the loads out. So if any of you guys are following that stuff, what I've settled on here for the first test, and those, let me see here, well, cast bullets, you don't have as many choices as powders. So what I've settled on this particular load was the IMR 3031. And it's going to be moving at about on 1900 feet per second. So that's not as fast as our regular, our regular bullets and all of that. But that's also the smallest load of powder that I could start with. So it's called a ladder step. So I'm going to start out with this one, which is 30 grains of 3031, and then the next set of bullets I have would be 35 grains of 3031, and then so on and so on up the ladder until I get to the maximum load and see where it will fire the best. It's not always the maximum load that fires the best, so that shouldn't be your end plan, is to get as high as you can. Get where the gun shoots the best. And if that's middle range, then that's middle range. So that's just a good place to start out. So anyways, I don't know if any of you know much about sighting in guns. Seems to be the big, everybody has a problem with it. It's really not that complicated. I think a lot of people tend to overthink it. But here's something I want you to think about, right? Because I've had people say, hey, sight my gun in for me, would you? And I know people take their guns to a gunsmith or whatever and have them sight their guns in. But I've always been under the impression that I'm the one shooting the gun, not the other guy that sighted it in. So I feel that if I hold my rifle a little different than the other guy, then maybe it's not sighted in for me. So maybe you ought to give that some thought about having someone else sight in your rifle, because it might not be sighted in for you. And that's just my theory, my thought, that's kind of what I've been taught over the years. And not only that, I mean, it's your rifle. It's nice to know how to treat it. It's nice to know that it's on. It's nice to take it out and test it. And it's nice to be able to solve your problem. So you have an up and you got a down. Number one, make sure the bolt is back. Make sure the gun is empty. Now I'm starting out. I'll spin you around. You can see the target. Don't try to sight your rifle in at 50 yards and 100 yards when you've just put your scope on. Even if you bore scope it. I've got a bore scope. That thing will still not be on the paper. So bring your target up close. I'm 20 yards away. Maybe even closer than 20 yards. Now what I'm going to do at 20 yards is I'm going to get it on the paper. And then I'm going to adjust it. Like I said, this is the up. And then you've got left or right once you get down there. It's simple. So if the bullet is left of your bullseye, I want to turn the dial right. And one click for every inch. Now at 20 yards, you're really going to have to click it. I don't know what the mathematical equation is there, but at 20 yards, it's more than one click per inch. 4 clicks per inch. So You're just going to have to click, 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 click until you draw it over. Now I should be able to get it in the bullseye within about 3 shots, give or take. You know, I'm going to. I brought 10 along just for sighting in, but I would imagine by the 3rd shot, 5th shot, definitely, I'd be in the bullseye. And then after that, then you can take it out to 50 yards, check it out. There's not going to be a whole lot of difference between 50 yards and 100. So if you've got it dead on at 50 yards, then you can take your bullseye out to 100 yards and then fine tune it out there at 100 yards. But if you're trying to fine tune it when you just put this scope on and you put a target down there at 100 yards, dollars to donuts, you're not even going to be on the paper. So just keep that in mind. Same thing up or down. If you're shooting at that bullseye and you're down 2 inches, left turn is up, right turn is down. So if you're down on that bullseye a couple of inches, turn it down 8, 9, 10 clicks. Easily that many clicks if you're that far off at 20 yards. So just keep that in mind. Sighting this scope in is not wizardry. I really, everybody can do it. It's just a matter of, but do get yourself some kind of a setup. You know, if you're just standing offhand and you think you're going to sight it in offhand, you're not going to have a gun that's sighted in. Get yourself some kind of a setup. Now this here I built, it latches down over the front of the bench. I also have a steel pad back here that has a cushion on it to cushion the gun. And that way my shoulder doesn't take all the abuse from these rifles. If I want to sit here and shoot 100 bullets, if I want to shoot 20, well, all right. But even then, I don't want the abuse. So I have built this up many years ago. Underneath, probably got a date. Maybe I'll take a peek at it later. But anyways, that's the ins and outs of sighting in a scope. So let's. I'll spin that camera around and let's see what happens. I don't have a camera crew and I didn't bring 2 cameras today, so you're not going to see me shooting. I'm going to zoom in on the target. You should hear it in the camera, and I'm going to try to draw this in 3 shots. This gun has not been shot. These bullets have not been shot with this scope on it. It's first time with these, so I'm going to go for 3, but I'll definitely have it done in 5. How's that? Not too bad. All right, now you see that? Down about 3 inches. So we're going to crank her up. We're going to crank that up at least 10 clicks. Okay, I'm back. I cranked up the elevation 10 clicks. Let's see what that does for me. Didn't do much, did it? So up it goes again. All right, I've clicked it up 25 clicks. Told you it takes a lot of clicks when you're this close. That's 3. I'm in the orange. Alright, we're still shooting at target number 29. I have just raised the scope another 25 clicks. So what I am hoping that will give me this time is a dead-on bullseye. I'm moving my crosshairs this time to the very bottom of the 2-inch bullseye, and I raised the elevation 25 clicks from the last shot. Alright, you see target number 29? I held the crosshairs exactly on the bottom of that 2-inch dot. And the last shot hit exactly on that 2-inch, right exactly where I held the crosshairs, right on the very base of that 2-inch dot. So what I'm going to do now is raise it up another 30 clicks and then see what happens. This will be the 5th shot, so we want to hit the bullseye this time. I told you, 3 to 5 shots. Alright, I've raised my elevation 30 clicks at 20 yards, and now I am going to hold the crosshairs on the very bottom of the 2-inch dot. And this is bullet number 5. Bullet number 5. Alright, there's 5 bullets in the same hole. I think it's time to move that gun down to 50 yards and then out to 100. 5 bullets in there. That's nice. Let's see if that'll do it out there further. There you go. Very pleased, even though that's only 20 yards. Very pleased with that bullet. For this one, this is the 308. The brass that I used came from John from Greenville, Maine. So thank you very much, John. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I like what I saw. What I'm doing now, the reason I'm not moving down to 100, I'm here today to put this one on the target. And I have a 30-06 I need to put on the target. And then after that, I will actually be going to a different shooting range, which has a lot better 100-yard shot and 200-yard shot. What I mean by a lot better is I can drive down to the 200-yard shot with a vehicle. So, hey, have some coffee with me. Way too hot to do much walking here today, so we're not going to. What I wanted to show today was sighting in a rifle. It can be fun and it can be enjoyable. So there you go. Even at 20 yards, at the very end, this gun put 5 bullets in the same hole with that new recipe and that new bullet. I didn't end up going with the round nose because I had a little bit of an issue. The bullets are a little bit too long. So what I ended up going with was another load that I had, which I've been wanting. H335 shows up a lot in the loads for this 308. So I have a lot of H335 powder. So I ended up going, so that's what's in this last load that I've shot. And I have a feeling, and it was also in the basement as far as the ladder goes. I started out with the smallest load going. 0 kick. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, if that's going to shoot like that out at 100 yards, I'm going to be some pleased. This was a Lyman bullet that I poured 2 weeks ago. It also has a Burnell hardness of 19.3. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to tear this gun apart. I'm going to look down the barrel. I want to make sure of leading and all of that, which I'm not expecting because I have done quite a bit of research on that stuff. So, but anyways, that's it in a nutshell. Load number 1 for this 308 with that brand new built bullet is off to a really good start. Off to a really good start. Yeah, the powder was H335 and the weight was 30 grains on a 173 grain bullet. But as always, do not follow any recipe you get offline in a YouTube video. Go to your manual, take it from there. I don't even care if you're getting it from me and you think I'm the best reloader this side of the Mississippi. Only do your own research and only do your own recipes that you have researched out of a manual. As far as I am concerned, anything else is way too dangerous. So, have fun with it. Have a sip of coffee with me. I'm going to dig out the 30-06. We're going to do the same thing. I will set the camera up until this thing runs out of battery. And I will show you the exact same thing on target number 30. I should be able to do it in 3 to 5 rounds. I've done it before in 3 rounds, but 3 to 5. Problem being on that last one, it was down quite a ways, so I was pulling that thing up 30 clicks at a time until I got up to that target. As far as I'm concerned, it can probably still stand to come up some more. I didn't want to play around with it because I see that hole and I wanted to put 5 of them right through that same hole. So, but as far as I'm concerned, this gun could still come up another 25 or 30 clicks. So, and that's at 20. Once you get out at 100 yards, it won't be. Once you're out at 100 yards, it's 4 clicks to an inch. Alrighty, have a great week. I got a feeling this video's gone a little too long.